So I have a whole bunch of articles that I want to cover, but they don't warrant their own videos. So this is going to be a general hodgepodge. So our first article is from The Conversation. Trudeau's response to the SNC-Lavalin affair shows structural misogyny in action, in which the author presupposes the existence of structural misogyny, then uses the actions of a male feminist who, keeping in the trend of male feminists being piece of shit, was a piece of shit. He was corrupt and helped his corporate buddies, and then decided to try and act all altruistic, saying that he was just protecting Canadians' jobs. Well, this author decides to use those actions to show that the presupposed conclusion was correct. It's not at all that it's just another shitty man using the label of feminist to do shitty things. It's not that it's an individual being a piece of shit. No, it's the system that forced this otherwise perfect person to be a piece of shit. Because that's apparently how things work. Our next article, also from The Conversation, because it seems to be a very popular source of articles for my local news site. And this one's titled, "Why Do We Keep Having Debates About Video Game Violence?" Now this one's interesting. Because the reason why we keep having debates about video game violence is because people keep blaming gamers for shootings, and they keep blaming video games for shootings, despite the fact that video game use is absolutely uncorrelated towards mass shootings or even violence. The reason why people keep blaming it is because politicians love to just go, oh, it's this one thing that we can deal with. They don't like to have to deal with a complex issue. No. It's the same thing with guns. Politicians like to go, oh, we just need to ban guns to stop shootings, despite the fact that that's not how that works. So they like to go, oh, we can ban violent video games and it'll stop the shootings. Again, doesn't work like that. But they don't care, because they just want to have a nice, catchy soundbite, something to blame and that they can just put out in 5 seconds. Doesn't matter how right it is, doesn't matter if it's absolutely wrong, doesn't even matter if it would make the problem worse. They just want something quick that voters can remember. That's all they care about. Next article. Global News. Why celebrities weigh in on political issues and why we care. Well, they weigh in because they think that they actually matter. And they also have an immensely disproportionate audience to what they should. And why do we care? Well, we care because they are famous. And we really shouldn't, because they're usually fucking idiots that have absolutely no idea what is going on in the world and have no clue what the fuck they're talking about. So next, Canoe.com. Rejecting hijab dooms woman to 24 years in prison. Because in Iran, the hijab is mandatory by law. But in Quebec, government officials are not allowed to wear religious wear, like the hijab. And for some reason, people don't seem to get that in a different part of the world, the hijab is a symbol of oppression. But the feminists here don't care. They want women in hijabs because feminism and fucking God knows what's going through their mind. Next, from the Globe and Mail, liberals commit $1.5 million to fighting campus sexual violence, despite the fact that college and university campuses are hugely left-leaning, to the point where you're looking at, I think, 25% being not left. Like, there are communist and Marxist clubs on some university campuses. But for some reason, sexual violence is apparently prevalent. Totally not related. From CTV News. Gender equality in the election. What role will feminism play in the campaign? Given that women have been equal under the law for the past 50 years, and that there is a decent argument to be made that men are oppressed by the law, it shouldn't have any. In fact, Canadians should be wholeheartedly rejecting any attempt to divide Canada along gendered lines, which feminism does.